was very telling. Karen Bass said the quiet part out loud, and not a whole lot of people noticed. So you had to really pay attention to what she says here, because just like Brandon Gill just said, and by the way, Brandon Gill, by telling me and telling you what the objective is with these Democrats, it's to cultivate, like it's some sort of breeding farm, to get as many illegals as possible into the country and turn them into Democrat voters. But I also believe what he said too, is that they kind of backfired on them. A lot of people who are from Mexico, well, they're Catholic. They're family people. They run, even though they're not from here, they run, they're used to strict familial roles. The woman, the man, they don't like the other stuff with the Pride Month. That's not a big favor. So I think they made a big boo-boo. And that's why I think they don't care about the criminals, because they're like, wait a second, we made a big mistake. So I want you to listen to what Karen Bass says here, because she indeed does let the cat out of the proverbial bag.
Officials say more than 20,000 demonstrators took to the streets in L.A. yesterday as part of the nationwide No Kings protests, which were largely peaceful. There was a pocket of unrest outside the federal building. How violent did things get in reality last night in your town?
Well, yes, and I appreciate you pointing that out, because this is a small sliver of our town. There were a lot of people out, about 30,000. I will tell you that out of that big crowd, 5 people were arrested. About 30.
I want to stop there first and foremost. The city of Los Angeles. I don't know how many people live in Los Angeles, but you're telling me the metropolitan area of Los Angeles, you had 30,000 people show up, and that's supposedly big? There's more people at a baseball game. I'm pretty sure there's more people at the Dodgers game. There's more people at the Los Angeles Angels game. What are you talking about? This wasn't successful. You drew in all these nuts, and you only had 30,000 people show up? This is what we're talking about?
Given citations, and there were injuries on both sides. Officers were injured, and so were people that were there. But,
All right, so the reason why you see the foggy-looking image is because the people here don't like seeing violence. They get mad if they see people, like, doing bad things. So a couple of times as she's talking, you're going to see that cloud show up, because I have to cover up the mostly peaceful protesters.
Oh, I think that, one, if the raids hadn't happened, then that protest would have been a No Kings protest. We know that that was planned months in advance. But the disruption and the fear that has been caused by the raids has really had a devastating effect and has been a body blow to our economy. I don't think the president understands that we have entire sectors of our economy that cannot function without immigrant labor.
Did you catch that? She said 2 things at the end there that you might want to. Let's listen to that again, because what did you just say, Karen? What did you say? Okay, listen again.
I don't think the president understands that we have entire sectors of our economy that cannot function without immigrant labor.
We have entire sections of our economy that can't function without illegals. You got a problem. You just told the world that your entire economy, or many sections of your economy, can't function. Not may lose money. They can't even function. So what you're telling the world, and you went on CNN and vomited that, is that many of the people who have businesses in Los Angeles can't even exist as businesses if they don't have newcomers working there. Let that sink in. So, in other words, you've lost control of your entire city. You can't function by hiring regular people. You're okay with that. And then the other thing she said, I didn't back all the way up for it, is if there were no ICE raids, none of this would be happening. And now there's all kinds of fear throughout the city. Has she taken a poll as to Who's afraid? I'm not afraid. You're not afraid. The only people who are afraid are the ones who may fall into that category. That, and of course, the business owners in Los Angeles who can't afford to have a business without using newcomers. This is the Democrat Party. They are now okay telling the world, yeah, we can't work. We can't even have a business without these people. Seriously? And you're a mayor? You're the mayor of one of the biggest cities in the country, and you're now telling us you can't have an economy that prospers without breaking the law. Let's just say it directly as it is. We can't function without breaking the law. I don't know how you feel about that, but to me it just tells me you're a failed state, you're a failed city, you're horrible as a mayor, and this is what you have to say. I can't make it work.
But the real solution of all of this is for the administration to stop the raids. We have heard that
the only real solution we have to any of this is not for people to have any personal accountability. Oh no, these people, they can't stop themselves. You know, they're not from here, and they're afraid, and their businesses can't function because their businesses shouldn't function, and the only way it can go back to normal, is if we stop enforcing the law. Okay, is that what you really want to tell the world right now? That you basically have a criminal colony? That's it? That's what Los Angeles has been reduced to? A criminal colony.
these raids might take place for the next 30 days. We don't know how many.
Hey, guess what? They're going to continue. I don't know if she read President Trump's, post, but get them all out.
Are going to take place in a given day. And you just think about the disruption to families and the disruption to our local economy.
I don't think she thought this out. I really don't think she thought this out by going on TV and going, just think about the disruption to families and the local economy. Now, I have to believe there are people in California, sane people. I spoke to Chris Moritz last week. The sane people in California like, is it really that far gone? Yeah. Your state can't sustain itself, or at least Los Angeles, without having newcomers. Wow. Well, one person noticed, and this one person is pissed.
Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear they're unable to respond effectively and responsibly during calamity. Whether it's sheer incompetence or outright malevolence, the reality is stark. California's in a state of turmoil, and I ask my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office? How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation was founded upon and promises to offer. That's all.
In case you didn't recognize him, as he's aged a little bit, still has those steel blue eyes, that's Mel Gibson. So, in the last couple of days, I played you a video by John Voight. I played a video by Mel Gibson. And I'm starting to wonder if we're going to see a bubbling from celebrities, from the money, to say, enough of this stuff. We're done. We can't survive as a state. Beautiful state out here on the ocean. You've completely done your best to ruin it. And of course, it's a huge state, so people up north in, Napa Valley, they probably don't see it. But I just talked to Chris Moritz, who's in Malibu, and they see it. Malibu is right next to LA. There's parts of town you can't drive in. And now we're finding out there's parts, of their economy that cannot exist anymore because of what they've done. But even that might be a lie. Let me show you something. This popped up today. It's two different articles, one by NBC News and one by the New York Post. One says, how a city in Nebraska is recovering after the state's largest worksite immigration raid. And I'll make it big so you guys can see it. And it says, every seat in the waiting area of Glen Valley Foods was occupied with people looking to fill the jobs. Think about that. You're telling people that your economy can't exist without these newcomers. Yet, when people realize at this point we're going to have to hire regular people, they can't get enough seats. Again, every seat in the waiting area of Glen Valley Foods was occupied with people filling out job applications early Thursday afternoon, 2 days after the meat packing plant became the center of the largest worksite immigration raid in the state. And so what happens is, oh, I'm sorry, did all those people just get arrested? Yeah, no worries. Here come the people of Nebraska going, hey, I'll take a job. Oh, so you can hire Americans when you have to, when you've been exposed, when your business can't exist because you've been paying these wages to newcomers. And now you have to pay Americans and you have to fill these jobs. Otherwise, your business is toast. They're available. Again, not one, not two. Every seat in the waiting room at Glen Valley Foods was occupied with people filling out job applications. Every single seat. So Mayor Bass, maybe you're not aware. Maybe you don't know that people are willing to work in these factories. The second story. Nearly 1 million newcomers have self-deported under Trump, which has led to what? Oh, no, higher wages. Let that sink in. On the left there, you've got a city in Nebraska that had the biggest workplace raid ever, and all these people got cleared out. The local people, seeing that all these people got cleared out, said, hey, I'll take that job. And then on the right, you have the New York Post writing, since most of these people have self-deported, wages have gone up. You think those are kind of correlative? You think they're kind of related? Yeah, they're related. They're absolutely related. So when Mayor Bass got out there and went on television crying and whining about the fact that our economy out here is completely reliant, it won't even exist without newcomers, she's lying. There's people in Los Angeles, probably in Malibu, probably in areas, Huntington Beach, all around there, Venice Beach, who are like, yeah, we'll take the job. You sure got a whole lot of homeless people out there. Might want to clean them up and put them to work. It's a cop-out. The Democrats are lying. They continue to lie. And now they're in big trouble because what happens when, and is happening, the money gets turned off. When that spigot just goes like that. No more. You're not getting it. You're not getting a dime. Let me show you something that came out today. Here's one. What are they going to do when this happens? Just in, Sean Duffy says sanctuary states will not get 1 red cent from the federal government to repair the infrastructure damage caused by the rioters. This comes after rioters were seen destroying roadways and using the concrete to throw at officers. In addition, he's threatening to withhold all funding from rogue state actors who refuse to cooperate with ICE. Yeah, and so here are these guys just breaking up stuff. Just breaking up stuff so that they can have projectiles to throw all over the place. And the government's like, well, guess what? You're losing your money. We're not going to pay you for this. What's California going to do? Stephen Miller responded to what Gavin Newsom said. After Trump said that big post about get them all out, Newsom comes up and says his plan is clear: incite violence and chaos in blue states. How is he inciting chaos and violence? There's nothing in Trump's post, which I read to you, that says, hey, you guys should all go out there and break stuff. Nope. He said you got to leave. Have an excuse to militarize our city, demonize his opponents, keep breaking the law, and consolidate power. It's illegal and we will not let it stand. So now you're worried about illegality? How about all the people running around doing this stuff? Notice, Democrats never advocate for personal accountability. This is the governor of the state saying that the plan is clear. It's inciting violence and chaos. There is nothing that Trump said in that post that should cause a person to get out there and throw stuff or burn stuff. How is it? I would love to talk to Gavin Newsom. How is it inciting someone to leave their couch and do something? It'd be very simple for the people who you're trying to actually incite to tell them, stay your asses home, leave, do whatever. Your job is to protect people. Your job is to make sure people feel safe. And that's not what you're doing. You're telling them, all right, guys, you see what he said? You got to get out there some more. Yeah, it's chaos. No, it's order. It's actually telling people you need to do the right thing. You're not supposed to be here. I'm the governor of the state of which you broke the law coming here. I need to help you to get out. That's not what he's saying. The Democrats are desperate. And then Stephen Miller actually responded to that by saying, you run a sanctuary state that illegally harbors foreign terrorists and willfully perpetuates a criminal invasion of the United States. The government of California does not recognize but willfully and maliciously abrogates the supremacy of federal and constitutional law. Well said. Big mouthful, but shut up is what he said. Shut up. You're advocating illegality. Period. No other way to say it. All right, so let me take a few comments. What we got here? Pritzker counted out, hence raised our taxes on everything to get his funding to continue supporting them. Absolutely. Somebody told Ashley to get Mel Gibson. She might get him, BLS. Don't challenge her. You are the best production that I've ever seen. Oh, now you done challenge her. Now she got to call Mel Gibson. And I know just how to get in touch with him. Beth, I'm convinced he's possessed, so I can reach out, but I won't listen to him. I don't know who she's talking about. Lefty lunatics. Yes. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, yeah, Barry, I actually posted that. I can show it tonight when I jump over at Rumble. I saw 2 people get run over. I'm pretty sure it didn't make it. It was self-defense, but I don't think it was in Florida. I hope those 2 drivers will not be punished. I also saw one in California. Guy just said, sorry, I got to get home. You're roadkill. That's what's going to come down to. I hope you're all ready for this. What we're probably about to see, in no uncertain terms, especially if Gavin Newsom's going to fan more flames. If he's going to fan more flames, we may be looking at Mad Max real soon. Pretty cool that, it was Mel Gibson was in Mad Max, so it kind of fits. But people aren't going to take it anymore. You are not going to stand up in front of me. Especially, I've watched people throw concrete onto cars. I've watched them break out windows. I've watched them not let women get home with their babies in a car. Sorry, not going to happen. Boof, taking you out. Not going to stop. I am not going to let this happen. It can't happen. And now you've got, of course, Florida. Florida's like, just go ahead and do what you got to do. Which is going to cause more violence. Because these people have no concept of self-control. Nothing. They have nothing at getting self-control. Yeah, Steve Hilton would be great too. I'd love to talk to him. We need to stand behind the drivers who took steps in their own hands for that stupid stuff. I completely agree with you, because everybody deserves the right to come home. You do not have the right to stop me or impede me. And then, of course, surround my car and bang on the hood. Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for the dents on the hood? Who's going to pay for the broken windows? Who's going to help my children who are screaming in the back seat like, what in the hell is all this? Oh, it's just Los Angeles or Seattle or Portland. Put a wall around these cities. I'm done with it. And what happens is she's talking to you about the economy and how they can't, certain parts of the economy, certain sectors can't function without newcomers working there. And so what you're going to see is a continue, and if they're going to just make it keep going this way, I don't know what these people in Los Angeles are going to do. At some point, it's like, well, listen, I understand you had a good cause, but get the hell out of my way. It's absolutely crazy at this point. Absolutely crazy.